student, welcome back to another session of Electronics Paper 1 Applied Electronics. So let us proceed. Student, we already started with the chapter number 4 Operational Amplifier, lecture 8. We started with the applications of op-amp. We've seen the linear applications of op-amp. What were they? Non-inverting op-amp, inverting op-amp, buffer, inverter, adder and subtractor. In previous lecture, we started with the nonlinear applications like integrator. So let us proceed. Applications of an op-amp. In the previous lecture, we already seen the linear applications of op-amp and their derivation. Which were the linear applications of op-amp? Non-inverting, inverting, buffer, adder, inverter and subtractor. We have seen the output expression for each of them. Then we started with the nonlinear applications of op-amp. Why these are called as nonlinear applications of op-amp? Because the circuit in which the shape of the output signal is different from that of the input signal, that circuit are called as nonlinear circuits. So all these circuits are nonlinear circuits. So nonlinear applications are integrator, differentiator, comparator and Schmitt trigger, because the output signals are different from that of the input, so they are called as nonlinear application. In the last lecture we have seen the op-amp as integrator and now in that circuit, suppose if we interchange the position of the capacitor and resistor, the same circuit can be used as a simple differentiator. So last lecture we have seen that how to use, we have seen the output for the integrator, and now just by changing the position of capacitor and resistor we will get a differentiator circuit. So let us see how to design a differentiator circuit. So in today's lecture we are going to see the output to derivation of the for differentiator circuit, the output derivation for the differential circuit. In the next lecture we will see comparator and Schmitt trigger. So in this video we will see how to use an op-amp as a differentiator. Now here do not get confused between differential amplifier and the differentiator. So in case of this differential amplifier amplifies the difference between the two input signals, while in case of this differentiator the output will be differentiation of the input signal. So using this differentiator circuit we will get the rate at which the input signal is changing. So now let us understand how can we design this differentiator circuit using op-amp. So now in the last lecture of the op-amp we have seen that how this op-amp is used as a integrator. And so now in that the circuit, suppose if we interchange the position of the capacitor and the resistor, the same circuit can be used as a simple differentiator. Okay, so here in the integrator circuit, if you remember, the capacitor was connected in the feedback place and here the resistance was connected. In differentiator we are connecting the capacitor at the inverting terminal and the feedback capacitor is connected between the output and the input terminal. So now let us understand how this circuit will act as a differentiator. So let us say to this circuit we have applied some input signal and the current II or IC flows through the capacitor, and let us say IF is a current which is flowing through the feedback resistance RF. Here we assume that the op-amp is an ideal op-amp, so no current is flowing inside the op-amp. Okay, so Now because of this, the negative feedback, this point, that is A, node A will act as a virtual ground. So the potential at this node will be equals to 0. Clear? So this is nothing but the circuit of differentiator, where the capacitor is connected between the input and the inverting terminal of the op-amp, right? And a feedback resistor is connected between the output and the inverting terminal of the op-amp. So this is the circuit diagram of a differentiator. And this, the feedback resistor RF is connected between the inverting terminal, input terminal and output terminal. The input signal is applied to the inverting terminal through the capacitor C. The non-inverting terminal is grounded, and hence the inverting terminal is virtually ground. Clear? The current II is the input current flowing through the capacitor. According to the Coulomb's law, the voltage across the capacitor is given by Vc, because the node A is at virtual ground, because the non-inverting terminal is grounded. So the voltage across capacitor is nothing but the voltage at the input. So Vc is equals to charge upon capacitor, but the current I is equals to dq upon dt. And what is q? Q is nothing but Vc into C. So II is equals to C into dVi by dt. Okay. So here C taken dVi by dt. So that is equation number 1. So let VO be the output voltage, let VA be the potential at point A, at node A. If IF is the current flowing through the feedback resistance RF, which is connected between the output terminal and the non-inverting terminals, right? Then IF is equals to VA minus VO upon RF. Due to the virtual ground, VA is equals to 0. So IF reduces to the equation, this equation reduces to IF is equals to minus VO upon VF, that is equation number 2. So II is equals to IF, since the input impedance of the op-amp is very high. So from equation 1 and 2, IF is equals to minus VO upon RF is equals to II is equals to C into dV by dt. So what is output? Rearranging the term, what we get? VO is equals to minus RF into C dVi upon dt, right? So in this way, if we see this circuit, in this circuit the output voltage will be differentiation of the input signal, and it will get multiplied by this factor, that is RF and C. So using this differentiator circuit, we can differentiate the different types of input signal, right? So the constant RF and C can be reduced to unity, can be made to 1 with proper value of RF and C. If we take RF is equals to 1 mega ohm, 1 into 10 raised to 6 ohms, and C is equals to 1 microfarad, that is 1 into 10 raised to minus 6 farad, then RF into C, RF is 1 mega ohm and C is equals to 1 microfarad, then RF into C is equals to 1 into 10 raised to 6 and 1 into 10 raised to minus 6, 1 10 raised to 6 and minus 6 get cancelled off, and we get RF into C is equals to 1. Then the output voltage equals to differentiation of the input voltage. So VO is equals to minus dVi by dt, right? So this way we get, if we apply the different circuit, different signal, input type of signal, we get the differentiation at the output. The sinusoidal input voltage is applied, Vi is equals to V sin omega t, then the output voltage is equals to minus Ric V d omega t upon dt. So derivative of sin omega t is cos omega t into omega. So V out is equals to minus Ric omega V cos omega t. So output is equals to minus, what is omega in terms of frequency? 2 pi f RIC V cos omega t. This equation shows that the frequency increases, the output also increases. Therefore, the differentiator is called as high pass circuit. Okay. So here, so this equation, so this is also called as the differentiator is also called as high pass circuit, and the frequency increases, the outputs also increases. So here we'll see the different output waveform of for the different input applied to the op-amp differentiator. So suppose if we apply a DC signal to the differentiator, then the output of the differentiator will be equal to 0. Why it will be equal to 0? Because DC is constant and derivative of constant is always 0. But having the signal, but hence the signal is not at all changing with time. So on the other hand, suppose we are applying a square wave. See here we applied a square wave, right? Which is having very fast rise time at the output. You will get the spikes. So we are getting these are spikes. Where this very fast transition we get a very fast transition from see here it is going up, so the spike down, it is coming down here, up, right? So there is a fast transition. So in this way, this differentiator circuit can be used to find the high frequency component at the input signal, or we can use this differentiator circuit for edge detection purpose. Okay, and here we are applying the ramp which is rising, and we get an inverted pulse. See, when we differentiate this ramp, we get the inverted pulse. So waveform for ramp and waveform for rectangular pulse, right? For DC, you will get 0 volt. Similarly, let us say if we apply a sinusoidal signal, that is a sine wave, then the output will we get is minus cos omega t. And likewise, if we apply a triangular wave at the input, then at the output of this differentiator we'll get the square wave pulse. And the amplitude of these different output signals depend upon the value of the feedback resistor and the value of the capacitor. Okay, so now let us see the limitation of the simple differentiator. Clear? So uses of an op-amp differentiator. The op-amp differentiator can be used as a high-pass filter. Okay, by applying the rectangular input, a narrow spikes can be obtained at the output. The advantage of the op-amp differentiator over a simple RC differentiator is that the spikes come from a low impedance source, so which makes driving typically the load resistance easier. Okay, so while driving the load resistance easier, we can use as a differentiator. That is the advantages of a op-amp as differentiator. So limitations of op-amp differentiator. The op-amp differentiator has a tendency to oscillate. The noise, drift or any unwanted disturbance present in the input signal are amplified. Hence, in the most of the analog computing system, differentiator circuits are avoided. So they are not used in because of drift, noise and unwanted disturbance. They are not used in computing system. So these are limitations of op-amp differentiator. Student, in today's lecture we have seen op-amp as a differentiator. What is the difference between op-amp as an integrator and op-amp as a differentiator? In integrator, the capacitor was connected in the feedback, and in differentiator the capacitor was connected at the inverting terminal, right? So we got the output in terms of the integration of the input in integrator, and in differentiator we got the output in terms of derivative of the input. So if you want the output signal derivative of the input, you have to use differentiator, and if you want the output in terms of the integral of the input, then you have to apply the integrator circuit. question based on this topic differentiator comes. Explain the working of differentiator using op-amp and state the uses and limitations of the differentiator. It can come for 4 marks, 3 marks. In 3 marks, you have to draw the circuit diagram and explain and derive the expression for the output voltage and then state the uses and limitations. So it may come for 4 marks or it may come for 3 marks. If the 3 marks they are asking, they will only ask you to derive the output or expression for the output voltage, right? They will not ask you the uses and limitations. Clear? So it may come for 3 marks or 4 marks. So today we have seen the linear applications. Already we have seen the linear application, and in today's lecture we have seen the second nonlinear application of op-amp, that was differentiator. In the next lecture we will see the two more nonlinear applications of op-amp, that is comparator and Schmitt trigger. So nonlinear application, when we say nonlinear application, we mean that the output in which the shape of the output signal is different from that of the input signal, right? And so they are called as nonlinear application. Student, one more thing, if they tell you state linear and nonlinear applications of op-amp, or the question may come as state the application of op-amp. If they are just asking state the application of op-amp, then you can write linear and nonlinear. But if they specify that state the linear application and nonlinear application, then you have to separately mention the linear application. Which are they? They are nothing but a non-inverting op-amp, inverting op-amp, adder, subtractor, buffer, inverter. Nonlinear applications you have to state separately. So 1.5 mark is reserved for nonlinear applications and 1.5 mark is reserved for linear application. In nonlinear application we will write integrator, differentiator, comparator and Schmitt trigger. So in next lecture we will see comparator and Schmitt trigger, the remaining nonlinear applications of op-amp. So here we came to the end of operational op-amp session 8. Thank you.